How you start your day, it's not just some small detail, is it? It's pretty much the foundation for everything else that happens. In this explainer, we're going to dive deep into a really powerful idea. How mastering that first hour after you wake up can totally transform not just your day, but, and I'm serious here, your entire life. It's all about grabbing control from the very first minute. So let's get into it. This quote right here, it just nails it. A morning routine isn't really about waking up at some crazy hour or chugging a green smoothie. No, it's a strategy. By deliberately winning that first hour, you create this incredible ripple effect of success that just builds and builds over time. It's the ultimate way to play offense with your life, instead of, constantly letting life happen to you. So what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, on the left, you've got the reactive morning that, let's be honest, most of us are way too familiar with. Hitting snooze, instantly grabbing your phone, scrolling, and just immediately playing catch-up. But on the right, that's the proactive morning, one that's built on clarity, on energy, and this deep sense of control. It really is the difference between being a victim of your day and being its architect. The real question is, which side do you want to be on? Now, this isn't just some nice, fluffy idea. It's actually backed by some pretty solid science. There are real, concrete, biological and psychological reasons why starting your day with this kind of intention is so ridiculously effective. Let's take a look at why this all works. Okay, first up, let's talk about willpower. I want you to think of your self-control like a phone battery. It's fully charged the moment you wake up, but it gets drained by every single decision you make all day. This is a real thing. It's called decision fatigue. So by tackling the important stuff first thing, like that workout or meditation, you're using your willpower when it's at its absolute peak. You're setting yourself up for a win before the world even has a chance to wear you down. And this slide just shows it so clearly. In the morning, you're at 100%. By the evening, though, after a million tiny decisions, you could be running on fumes. See that? Maybe 30%. That hard thing you put off until 8 p.m., yeah, it's going to feel about 10 times harder than it would have at 8 a.m. The morning is your strategic window of opportunity. And get this, your own body is on your side here. In the morning, key hormones are just peaking. You get this natural spike in cortisol, and I'm talking about the good kind that makes you alert and energetic. And testosterone, which is so crucial for drive, is at its highest. A great routine literally works with your natural biology to build momentum, not fight against it. And finally, there's the psychological effect. When you start your day by actually keeping a promise to yourself, you create this small win. And that little win, it builds confidence and this powerful feeling of being in control. It sets the whole tone for the day, like a quiet declaration that says, hey, I'm in charge. And that feeling carries through to everything else you do. Okay, so we know why it works, but now the big question. What does an ideal routine actually look like? Let's break down a really simple science-backed framework that you can take and make your own. So these 5 phases, they pretty much cover all your bases. First, wake and hydrate. Seriously, no snoozing, just get up and drink some water because your body is desperate for it. Second, get sunlight. This is non-negotiable for setting your body's internal clock. Third, move your body. Create that energy for the day. Fourth, cold exposure. This is amazing for building mental resilience. And finally, a mental practice to just center your mind before the chaos of the day kicks in. But remember, this is a blueprint, not some rigid prescription you have to follow perfectly. But here it is, the golden rule, the one thing that protects everything else. Absolutely no phone or email until your routine is done. The moment you look at that screen, you've already lost. You shift from being proactive to being reactive. This first hour is your time. You have to defend it. Now, this all sounds great, but I know exactly what you're thinking. I don't have 2 hours for all this. And you're right, that's the biggest hurdle for most people. Time and just feeling overwhelmed. But the good news is, you don't need 2 hours. So let's make this practical. Look, you can get the core benefits in just 30 minutes. Forget the 2-hour ideal on the left for a second, and just look at the 30-minute non-negotiable version on the right. It hits the absolute essentials: hydration, sunlight, a quick cold shower, and a good breakfast. That's it. Come on, anyone can find 30 minutes, right? It makes this whole thing achievable for absolutely everyone. And this part is crucial. Do not try to do everything at once. You will burn out. I've seen it 1,000 times. Instead, you build the habit slowly. Start with the foundation in week 1. Then, every couple of weeks, just stack one new thing on top of it.
By slowly layering these habits, you make them stick for good without ever overwhelming yourself.
So, why is this daily practice so incredibly powerful? It all comes down to the magic of the compound effect. Improving by just 1% each day. I know, it doesn't sound like much, does it? But over a year, that tiny, consistent effort makes you 37 times better. Just think about that for a second. Your morning routine is how you install that 1% improvement every single day.
But that 37x improvement isn't just about productivity. It points to something way, way deeper. As we wrap this up, let's zoom out. Because a morning routine is so much more than a checklist of healthy habits. It's a truly profound personal practice.
What it really is the practice of self-sovereignty. It's a daily declaration of your independence. You're saying, you know what? I'm not a slave to the snooze button, or to my phone, or to other people's emergencies. I choose how I begin my day. I choose who I am. It is the ultimate act of taking control, and it starts with you.
At the end of the day, this whole thing is a ritual of becoming. Every time you choose to get out of bed instead of snoozing, to face that cold water, to sit in silence, you aren't just checking a box. You're casting a vote for a more disciplined, more resilient, and more intentional version of yourself. And that discipline, it doesn't just stay in the morning. It bleeds into every other area of your life. So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. You can think of it like this. Every night is a small death, and every morning is a rebirth. You get a clean slate, another chance. The real question is, who will you choose to become when the sun rises tomorrow? Thanks for tuning in. Now go win your morning.